Okay, this is going to be part 47, and I'm trying to get the screen capture thing working. So I only have a mono microphone right now, but it's one small step at a time here. And I wanted to go over this picture now that you can actually see um, more of the detail without having to film it off the screen. And basically, what this was is a still shot from The Shining, and it's right around the time you hear the shown clue. You'll hear they'll be talking and it'll go shown. Right when the shown clue happens, capture those 10 or 12 frames, paste them into Photoshop, save them as a TIFF file. You don't want to compress them at all. You want them as big as they are when you copy them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into red and yellow, and you're going to offset red and yellow, one all the way one way, one all the way the other way, and adjust them carefully. Watch the screen and adjust them a little bit at a time until you can see the 24 on the carpet right here. Now, right now, you can't really see it very well because I've done more things. I've done so many things to this photograph, I don't even know how to reproduce it. So, but it's irrelevant. You can see the 24 there when we adjust the colors, and you can even invert it. There it is in purple and blue. You go the other way. Oops. You go all the way into the rainbow. These are the clues. We've been given these 21, 24, 42, 24 clues to the whole puzzle. So is it so hard to believe that we're going to use these same clues in decoding the color puzzles that are in here? I don't think it is. I've also noticed when I'm doing this, I'll have a 24 show up here. I'll get out of the color manipulation and go back in again and start adjusting it, and you'll see a 42 appear over here. So it's kind of like you do the first adjust. Remember, there's only two colors in this photograph when you start, red and yellow. So you adjust the red and yellow. You don't save it. You just leave it the way it is. You adjust it, you hit OK, and then you go back in to enhance, and you adjust the color again, hue and saturation. And then what I did then is you'll notice that red and yellow are no longer in the picture as much, and you adjust the other colors two at a time. It seems like 2, 2, 2, and hit OK every time you do this. And by the time you get down to magenta, you can start reading the hidden puzzles that are in this. So let's just do this now that you can see it clear. There's a couple things places I want you to look before this starts. Right on his shirt, you're going to see the Masonic sash. You're going to see horns grow out of his head at some point. You're going to see a 3M appear right here. And you're going to see the Jack Dempsey Terrier appear here. And on the wall next to it, it'll say WAG. And you can actually see the W right here. This is a W. An A will appear here, and a G will appear down here. So it's Wag the Dog. This is the movie Dustin Hoffman did, Wag the Dog. And there are a lot of things in this picture that I wasn't able to talk about in the last video because it was so blurry. But another thing you're really going to want to see in this picture is right in this area here. You'll see an ET appears. So I think this is like a word puzzle that he's put on this individual frame, and if you could solve the word puzzle, you'd know what it meant, but I haven't solved it. But let me go through the hues and you can actually see it change. Oh, hang on, let me do something. Cancel. Step backwards. Alright, here we go. Alright, you can see right here it says Mr. M-R. Now you can see the Jack Dempsey Terrier here. Here's his nose, here's his ear, here's his front leg, he's looking at his tail because he's wagging it. And it says W-A-G right there. Let's see if we can get that any better. And there also appears to be a bird over here. You have a little bird head, a beak, a body, and 2 legs. I don't know what that means. I mean, there's birds in the puzzle, so you got Admiral Bird. You can see the 24 in the carpet now. You can see a 22 right here. So like I said, obviously I don't have these colors adjusted perfectly, so I'm getting 2 different numbers at the same time. You can see a 2 here. You can see a 44 over here. You can see a 4 and a 2 here. See, it's whatever I've done to this, however I was able to do it, it's close to where it needs to be, but it's not exact. So let's go a little further on this. Because remember, this puzzle is contained in the colors, the hues. That's where Jim Carrey goes, "No Hwey!" And he's talking about Hue Hwey City. We can see his Masonic sash is beginning to appear now, right here. And it says MM. I think that's Master Mason, would it be my guess. Let's do this now. We can see the 24 is still visible. These other numbers have now, see how you see a 4 here now? The number 4. And like it looks like it was done in a felt tip pen. It's an animation is basically what it is. So all the clues, the Scatman does Meadowlark Lemon, and we have Snoopy and Charlie Brown, and we have Mickey Mouse, and all these cartoon clues are part of this as well, because this is it's a hidden cartoon we're looking at here. This is hand animated. Now we can start to see the 3 from 3M come in, and we keep going, we keep going. We can see the ET now. It's a dash, something. I can't make out what this is. It's something EXET. Now you can see the 3M now. I mean, it's pretty clear. It's a 3 and an M, and his Masonic sash has disappeared now. And then we see this one. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this in the video. It says AE. It's a large A with a tail on it, like an A, and then there's an E, and then it says 732 24, and then there's a little arrow going up to this box with 4 quadrants in it. My guess is he's giving us clues on how to decode this here, but I don't really know. And also there's a 16 something, number 16 up here. Let me hit OK and scroll up. So there's a 16 right here. So it says AE 732 24. So we have 2 teams, primary and secondary, 3 men per team, 7 missions. There's the Apollo missions right there, 237. There were 12 men landed, and there was, of course, a backup team as well. So 12 times 2 is 24. And this little quadrant thing is interesting. I don't know what that means. And also, I've manipulated this before, and a little astronaut's helmet appears right here. And these 2 little dots for the right before the 732. These 2 little dots become his eye, and this thing here becomes his smile. So it's like I said, it's an animated story in the hues of the actual movie. Now let's go a little further, because now we get into a different puzzle here. It says PR, and the R is actually a little astronaut, a little drawn astronaut. He's on the surface of the moon right here. And he's got his hand up. He probably has a drill or something in his hand. And over here we see another astronaut. This is a little astronaut. He's got his hand up. He's waving. And he has a flag in his other hand right here. And it says Mr. So we have Mr. PR, and the R in PR is an astronaut. And the other astronaut down here has the flag. You can see the Mr. now. Mr. PR. This is an astronaut. This is an astronaut. And yeah, you can sort of see the wag, and when the colors are inverted as well. But you can see the terrier right there. So let's cancel. Let's step back. Do it again. Now, something I want to mention. If you think these animated little scenes are in just this one, I was just miraculously lucky that I caught this one frame that has this little 3M, hidden 3M in it here, and an ET right here. You're wrong. This is in every frame of the movie. There's a frame that's, I think, 2 frames past this, and these hidden messages behind them are all different, except for the 73224. That stays the same, which is weird. But the Jack Dempsey Terrier disappears, and the 3M disappears, and it's a completely different color puzzle. And I have not, like I said before, I have not figured out the actual alchemy of how this is done. I'm thinking part of the 2-4 is you start with two colors, red and yellow. So there's your two. Maybe you make two colors into three and three colors into seven. That's my guess, but I have not been able to really, produce that on demand. But if anybody has Photoshop at home and the movie The Shining, I highly recommend going to this scene and listening to when the shown sound happens, and just copy those 10 frames. It takes a little while. You have to get your DVD player to skip one frame at a time, which isn't always easy. And start with red and yellow. And when I say you invert the colors, let's do one right live, and that way you'll see. No, that's the same one we had open. Having said that, I got lucky and I found the frame with all the hidden stuff in it. I don't know how many hours I spent doing this before I figured that there was a hidden puzzle in this. So it's easy when somebody points it out and says, "Oh yeah, there's a hidden puzzle in it," and you just adjust the colors this way or that. But until you've done it and figured it out, So here's a completely different one. This is a completely different frame. And we can see different letters and different patterns emerging on this as well. So let's hit OK. Let's go back in, and we'll bump up the saturation for all. Another thing I want to mention, I've noticed if you start messing around with the saturation individually on a color, you'll ruin it. You have to adjust the saturation all at the same time, or it ruins the puzzle. Why that is, I don't know. So we can see there's some, let's hit OK. And once again, this is really rough. I don't have it adjusted right, but you can see there's something written on this back wall here. So let's do this. Let's step backward twice. You don't see it in the movie. You're not going to. This stuff is so hidden in the hues. And another thing he does, like I said, there's only two colors in this scene, red and yellow. And the colors are so dull and dimmed down that you can barely really even tell what color. This is a blue jacket, and you can't tell it. It looks the same. This is a blue jacket. So the colors, the saturation, he's messed around with in the movie. So we'll step forward, and we'll step forward. Oh, step forward. Yeah, I see like a 2.5 or something written right there. Let's do just color saturation. Let's bump the saturation up, see if we can see something here. This is brand new. I've never messed with this one before. Yeah, the PC doesn't like running Photoshop and the CAM software at the same time. So there's a completely different puzzle in this one, which would require me, to spend several hours farting around with it. But knowing what we know, there's something on his shirt clearly, and there's something written behind here. I don't know what it is. Let's see if we mess around with the other colors. It doesn't seem to do anything. And we've got something right here as well. There's a puzzle there. But anyway, you get my idea that these puzzles are in every frame of the movie. And my gut guess is there's a way to combine all these animations into a animated movie. And how that is done and the exact way to do that, I haven't the slightest idea. I have a lot of really good guesses, but I haven't been able to even decode a single frame. So I think the main thing is once you can decode a single frame, you're going to get a lot more clues, and he's probably going to give you the actual methodology on how to reproduce the animated movie, which I would love to see the animated movie that's hidden in this movie. And I'm sure somebody in Hollywood, I bet you Pixar has already made the animated, in the back studio they did it. But that's it for part 49, I believe it is. Have a good day, guys.